Hello, 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 and what is going on, everybody? It is Master of the TDS, and I'm joined by my lovely wife,
WritingRaven.
And we're back for another episode of Psycho-Synopsis.
Indeed.
The segment where we summarize all the Psycho for you. Just a scattering of topics throughout the week, all summarized into a neat little package for you to enjoy and consume at your leisure.
You're welcome.
So we got a bunch of topics to discuss today, including our main one.
So, without further ado, let us begin with our main one. Superman.
Krypton, Prism, Powers, Makeup.
Oh, my eyes! Too much color.
The Man of Steel is preparing to return to the small screen in animated format in My Adventures with Superman, an anime-style adult series that premieres this week on Adult Swim.
And they showed a scene of Superman doing his transformation into Superman. It looks like Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so apparently in the show it's explained that it was actually like nanotech.
Which was never done before in all of Superman.
But it does explain why the transformation happens instantaneously, which at least is a better explanation than just not explaining it at all.
I guess it's better than going into a phone booth and just speeding through it.
This is kind of like the first mainstream Superman TV show we're getting in quite some time. I'm not a fan of this kind of stuff. I'm sure I've seen some clips from it. I haven't watched the whole thing. It seems to be okay for what it is, but it's not my style because even if I like anime, just because you make it look like anime doesn't mean I'm automatically going to like it.
Yeah, and apparently they made Deathstroke look completely pathetic, and they made Livewire black even though she's supposed to be blue, kind of like they did with Starfire, who's supposed to be orange.
That's not surprising at this point. What would be surprising is to get a show that actually adapted something as it was instead of changing things, which we don't get anymore. I just think that this is kind of silly. Again, I'm sure that some people will like this show, and that's totally fine. But I think that just because you're making something that happens to be in a style that you know people like, doesn't mean people have to consume it, nor does it mean that it's going to interest me.
True. I mean, this certainly doesn't interest me, and I've never watched Sailor Moon in my life. I only know about the transformation thing because other people show clips of it, and because that exact same transformation is used in so many other animes.
And again, we want to clarify, we have not watched this anime, so we are not commenting on how the show is as a whole. We do not know. But from what we've seen, we can kind of extrapolate that it's not really our thing. I don't like this new trend of them taking projects and superheroes and whatever and just making them in an anime style or making them anime and then thinking that people will buy it. How about instead you actually make good content of your own and then people would buy that?
That would be a good idea, except they're not going to do that because it's a good idea.
Well, that and also because they don't care. They just want to push messaging. A lot of these stuff push messaging now, and that's why they're failing. That's why they're not doing well. The story comes first before everything. I don't care who Superman sleeps with. Yes, there's an interaction with Lois Lane in the show, and yes, it's the whole thing about how Lois falls in love with Clark and whatever. That's not the point, though. The point is it's Superman fighting bad guys. It's not, the entire show's not about how Lois and Clark and Lois and Superman are together. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
We need more of that. We don't need to focus so much on the talking and the sitting and the talking, which we get from Disney Plus shows. It's just kind of boring.
Yep, it really is. And it's just overdone at this point.
Now, to be fair, this is DC content. It is not Marvel content. So we're comparing it to Marvel based on the fact that it is a superhero property. Can this be good? I don't know. I have no idea. What I've seen, it's not interesting to me. If it's interesting to you, that's cool. Let us know why if you've watched it. But I think that we can all agree that the magical girl transformation thing for Superman just kind of doesn't really work.
It really doesn't. Moving on. And speaking of DC turned anime, next up we have Suicide Squad.
A new trailer for Suicide Squad Isekai dropped, an upcoming anime series starring Harley Quinn and the Joker. It's made by Warner Bros. Japan and Wit Studio.
Master and I have very different opinions regarding this. I'm actually looking forward to this. He is not.
So, I'll explain my reasoning. I don't like them taking things that are popular and just saying, here, we'll just insert brand and make it that way. I'm not saying this won't be good, and I know that the studio behind it is apparently very good and has done very good work. And I'm not, like, appalled by what I'm seeing, but, like, do we even really need a Suicide Squad isekai? Like, really?
Not really, but it does look cool.
I'm not denying that it looks cool, but I don't like them saying, well, you know what, we're losing money, so we'll just take some of our stuff and make it into anime, so that way people will buy it, and then we can use the money that people do from buying it to fund our garbage products that nobody actually wants, but we'll have the anime and stuff to fall back on. I'm not saying that's the thinking, that's just what it comes off to for me.
I suppose. But personally, I kind of like this Joker design for one, and it's bad guys in an isekai. And hopefully they're not going to be made into the heroes for once, because that would be really nice to see.
I will say, I like that they're pairing Harley Quinn with the Joker and not Poison Ivy or making her lesbian or whatever.
Thank God.
Because that was not necessary. It's always been Harley Quinn and the Joker. It was just a stupid thing that they're pandering to people in the comics. And if you like it, then you're totally fine to like it. But that's just our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't think the designs are bad. I don't think the concept is bad. I'm just wondering, like, we're getting all these things now that are like, here, it's what you like. But it's just a wrapping paper. If you take off the wrapping paper, it's still bad DC product. Now, this could be very good, and I could eat my words.
True. I mean, it's being done specifically by Japan, and Japan is killing it in entertainment right now.
Yeah, so again, this could be very good, and I could be completely wrong, and I could end up liking this. But just from the seeing it, it didn't move the needle for me. It wasn't something new, it wasn't something unique, it was just taking something that they've already done like a bazillion different ways and saying, let's try it in an animated format, but not just animated format, let's try to make it an anime. That's what I'm getting from it. That's how I see it.
Well, you're not wrong, but personally, I'm just looking forward to something that's just stupid fun.
We'll see. This could be great. And if it is, then you're right, and I'll even give it a try. But right now, it just didn't move the needle for me. And maybe I'm not alone. You guys let us know in the comments.
Indeed. Moving on. And next up, we have Deadpool. Well, I guess this is happening.
Oh, no, we didn't! After a nearly 20-year hiatus, Jennifer Gardner is returning to the role of Marvel Comics assassin anti-heroine for Deadpool 3.
Reprising her role as Elektra.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting.
I never saw that movie.
I haven't seen that movie either. I tried watching the Daredevil movie that we got, and it was bad. I had to turn it off.
I never saw that movie either.
It's not good.
So I've heard.
Now, some people like it, and again, if you're one of the people who do like it, that's totally fine. Now, people are saying that this is just going to be for a cameo appearance, and that's fine, but my concern is this. We're having a lot of different, cameo appearances lately. Marvel and DC have taken the wrong idea from people showing up for example, No Way Home. It's, we just need to throw in a bunch of cameos, and then people will come. Not saying this is a bad idea, but it obviously makes it very clear that this probably is going to be some sort of multiverse story.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they could always have gotten the actress who played Elektra in the Daredevil TV show, because she was a pretty good Elektra. But, I mean, my first thought when I saw her was, is it me or does she look like Jennifer Lawrence? Most people said it was just me.
I don't know. I can see what you're getting at, but at the same time, no.
It was the angle of the picture in which I saw the tweet.
As I said, though, regardless, this could all be executed very well, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think I should speak for myself. I'm tired of multiverse.
Yeah, it has gotten pretty old.
You do it once or twice, and it's a cool novelty. You keep doing it for everything, and you make your entire arc about it, it's just boring.
You're not wrong.
It also takes away stakes, because, oh no, did Deadpool die? We can just go to another universe to get another one. And I know this has happened in the comics and stuff like that, and I'm not knocking on multiverses as a whole concept. I'm knocking on it with, why can't we just get a Deadpool movie with Deadpool and Wolverine that doesn't have to be this way?
My thought is, what if she's not coming in to reprise Elektra? What if she's actually coming in to play Lady Deadpool?
I doubt it, because they actually said that she's coming back probably in a cameo appearance.
Ah.
They've clarified. But
I really want to see the Deadpool family, that's all.
I don't, because then they'll make spin-offs with Miss Deadpool, and they'll make it all about her and whatever. We'll get Gwenpool movies, and I don't need all that.
I guess, but I just want to see an interaction between Deadpool and the female version of himself.
We'll see, but regardless, this could do well. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll execute it well, but right now, I mean, cool, she's coming back. I don't really care.
Neither do I. Moving on. But speaking of Daredevil, next up we do have Daredevil.
I said we making Daredevil a clown now.
Yeah, they are.
Marvel is reportedly going to great lengths to ensure that their upcoming Daredevil Born Again has absolutely no connection with the hero's previous Netflix series.
Yeah, and therefore it is going to fail.
It makes sense that they're not having it connected to this TV series, because I doubt they have the rights for everything, and I doubt that it'd be easy to kind of untangle that mess of what, rights they would have to use or buy or whatever to even be able to make something similar.
Yeah, but the problem is that they've literally did the Born Again story arc in Daredevil Season 3. For them to actually make a whole show called Born Again is really just going to be, I'm going to call it now, it's going to be the Jake Skywalker treatment for Daredevil.
I don't think that's what we're going to get. Here's what I think. This is just my opinion. I think we're going to get Elektra in this, and we're going to get Elektra taking over the Daredevil mantle like she has done in the comics. That's my opinion. I could be completely wrong. I do like Charlie Cox. I think he did a great job as Daredevil. I like Vincent D'Onofrio. I think he did a great job as Kingpin.
He really did. Oh my god, he was an amazing Kingpin.
But the problem is that this is being made for Disney. And because it's a Disney product, it therefore loses some of its edginess and its quality, at least in that aspect. Because what will happen is they have less of a budget, and also they want to go a completely different way. I think what they could have done is either make this a whole brand new Daredevil, or find a way to continue it from the original, make it honor what came before, but give a good reason for Daredevil to be changed in a way. Maybe his past scarred him. Maybe he's a changed man. That would not be a crazy thing to do for Daredevil. It wouldn't magically make the show good, but it would at least be a good explanation for why the sudden change in how he approaches things.
Yes, except it's Disney with their incompetent writing staff who's for some reason going on strike when they really should just do better work to get paid better. And there's not a single brain cell between them that has the slightest creativity or even an ounce of a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not interested in this show. It may turn out to actually be good, but I doubt it after seeing how they treated Daredevil in She-Hulk, which again, we did not watch She-Hulk, we just saw some clips, so we're getting it based off of isolated experiences, but I did not like how they portrayed him there.
Not at all, and the costume was hideous.
So if we're getting the same thing, count me out, not interested. Daredevil may be the man without fear, but I fear for the show.
Indeed. Moving on. And speaking of Netflix, next up we have The Witcher.
Please just let me die already.
They won't.
The Witcher Season 3 premiere sees 15% decrease versus Season 2, as the audience wanes across the first 5 episodes of the last season before the departure of Henry Cavill.
They did it to themselves.
You know how they said they were going to keep very much to the lore in this season? In some places they did. But overall, not so much. And it shows because the audience numbers overall for this couple episodes of the first part of Season 3 have decreased by nearly 50%.
I am definitely one of those 50%. I mean, one clip that I did see on Twitter drew a chuckle out of me where Dandelion and Ciri are making up dialogue of what Geralt and Yennefer are saying. It literally drew a chuckle out of me because I recognize it from the book, and also the part in which they reference the unicorn that Geralt and Yennefer have fun on in the games.
There are definitely parts that are more respectful to the book based on what we've seen. But overall, the problem with this series is that they drove away their biggest asset in Henry Cavill.
Someone who loves the source material, said that Geralt was his dream role, and the fact that they pushed him away from the series and that he left because they weren't sticking to the lore is very, very telling.
And, of course, they smeared him at first, but now they're all talking good of him, and it's like, we're not going to be fooled. They even said the transition from Henry to
Liam Hemsworth
is going to be meta.
No, it's not. Everyone's going to know. Even the fellow cast members are upset that Henry is leaving.
Oh, but wait, honey, it's just going to be like Doctor Who. It's just going to, like, replace him like that. That's what they said, so I'm sure that'll be how it goes.
But in Doctor Who, they actually made it make sense when William Hartnell was dying, so they had to create a way to make the show move on, and they created regeneration for Time Lords.
Well, William Hartnell wasn't dying. He was getting old, too old to play the role.
Oh.
Because his memory was going, and that's why the reasons they regenerated it, and it went forward from there. But you're not going to be able to regenerate Geralt. You're not going to be able to regenerate your viewers, and that's why you're in this slump. The Witcher's basically dead. I predict a spike in the regards to Season 4, and then it will go downhill from there, because it's not going to be good. Doesn't matter how many people you change and make Geralt into. The problem is the people behind the source material here don't care. They want to push their own stuff.
Yeah.
They don't care about the source material, and that's why they're in this mess to begin with. If you had just listened to what Henry had to say, I'm sure you could have taken some creative liberties. But you took and made your creative liberties the story rather than sticking to the source material, and that's why you're in this mess.
Yep. Like I said, you did it to yourselves.
You have only yourselves to blame, and you can scream and cry and yell and beg people to come back. It's not going to work.
Indeed. And thus we move on to our next client, Narnia.
A new report claims that Barbie director Greta Gerwig will direct at least 2 films based on C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia for Netflix.
And just because it's Netflix, we all know it's going to be doomed.
That, and also, of course, because a lot of the people like to say, and this has, again, never been really confirmed or denied, but a lot of the things that are in, some of the themes that are in Narnia are very much reminiscent or connected to Christianity and, all that kind of stuff. And, of course, when Twitter ever hears anything about Christianity or religion, they hate it.
Indeed, especially when it's Christianity for some reason.
We have Narnia, Harry Potter, Twilight, and Hunger Games all revived at the same time? What's next? 9/11?
The fact that this person said that is absolutely ridiculous. The word I actually want to say would probably get us demonetized.
This is ridiculous. It's okay to not have to reboot or continue. Now, I think that the Chronicles of Narnia would actually benefit very much from a remake and a redo because we lost it pretty much. They never finished it.
Yeah. And they really only made the more recent movies based on the 4 siblings, when there are a bunch of other stories to be told.
I've read a little bit of the Chronicles of Narnia. I don't remember exactly. I've read it a while ago. I don't remember if I completed it or not. I'm not opposed to this. I'm not opposed to seeing what they do with it, but it's Netflix, and also because of these people that they're already freaking out about it. Like, one of them was even at one point, it's not on here, you can see the full thing on Twitter, it was like, is she gonna remove the Christianity? If not, pass. It's like, when I read the Chronicles of Narnia, I didn't think Christianity. I just thought, wow, what a good book.
Well, we're Jewish, so we wouldn't have noticed anything Christian.
Even so, it wasn't something that even bothered me, and finding out that it has Christian themes in it right now, as a Jewish person, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, especially now that we're older and we can say, oh, I can see how that would work.
So, grow up, or get off Twitter, and if you pander to these people, Netflix, you might as well just take a stack of money, light it on fire, and unfortunately, unlike Aslan, it will not return from the dead, but it will be cheaper, I guess.
Yeah. You don't have any religious traumas, so walk it off and move on. Shall we move on? And lastly, we have Threads.
Twitter is threatening legal action against Meta over its new text-based Twitter killer platform, accusing the social media giant of poaching former employees to create a copycat application.
Wah wah.
Elon Musk did fire a lot of people from Twitter.
That is true.
And they have every right to still pursue jobs in the field that they chose to be in.
Also true.
If they took things from Twitter and they used them directly to make this app, then yes, he has every right to be upset about it.
Indeed.
If they just took their experience with them, then it's not a problem.
But if they took, like, the coding and the different programs and all the other different things that's used to actually create Twitter, then you have a problem.
Exactly. And so now we've also heard a lot about Threads. We are not on Threads.
No.
The reason being is because it was never something that interested us, but also people are already going on there and it's not as good as Twitter, and they're already starting to like censor people on there, and it's like nobody really wants that. Some people are like holding it up like it's a triumph, and that's fine. If you like it and you want to go do it, go ahead. But like, I don't care. I don't need another social media platform.
Yeah, there are already too many.
That's what I'm saying. Spend less time on making more and fix the ones that we have.
I know.
Instead of cutting out the rot, it's saying, we'll let that thing rot and fester and continue to do so, and we'll fix it by making another thing which also has the potential to rot and fester, and we'll leave the original as it is.
Yeah, rot does tend to stink.
How about cutting out the rot and making it into something better? How about working together? No, we need more alternate platforms connected to this and connected to that take your data and all this stuff. I don't care. I'm on Twitter. We're on a couple other places. That's how it's going to be. Not interested in going on Threads. Maybe in the future, but...
Yeah, probably not.
It's just not interesting. And if they stole people from Twitter to do it, that's not cool.
No, I would not blame Elon Musk for suing Zuckerberg. Make that cage fight happen!
We'll see. They've definitely been talking about it, and they've been throwing verbal like taunts at each other, so we'll see. You got another social media platform. You ready to go there, honey?
No.
Exactly. I'm tired of it. Fix the ones we have. Stop making new ones.
Indeed. Moving on. And with that being our last client of the day, it is time for us to reveal the diagnosis of the week.
And we have an interesting diagnosis for you today.
Do tell.
So the diagnosis for this week is echolalia.
Please explain.
So echolalia is meaningless repetition of words spoken by another person, which is usually occurring as a symptom of mental conditions or mental illnesses. This can come up in sometimes just with, kids repeating things to learn language. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think we see this quite a lot now in Hollywood. Either people completely copy things word for word and make, like, for example, we got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which basically Jake Skywalkered Indiana Jones. It's the same thing. Same thing they did to Han Solo, too. Or they take things, they see things like, oh, anime's doing well, let's just make our stuff anime now. Blah, 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 blah. And just because you're repeating what you think is going to get people into seats doesn't actually do it. You need to make a good product first and stop trying to disguise it. You put a wrapper around a turd, it's still a turd. And that's why I feel this is a great diagnosis for this week.
I agree.
And now we move on to the remedy of the week.
And this week we are sending you to the Fandom Collective, who, they've been very good to us. They are, exactly as they sound, a collective of people within fandom in order to help each other grow and rise.
And they have a Patreon, which you can be part of. Now, they will sometimes promote your videos without them, but if you're a Patreon member for as low as $1 a month, you can get your videos promoted. We do this.
Mm-hmm.
They were recently suspended on Twitter, the official account. They have another account. It's called, Rise Together or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're posting things there. But they are made up of some great people. So the nicest people you ever see, and the people who just support each other. So if you want a network of people who are going to support you, and you want them to they sometimes make great content with other creators as well, then you will not go wrong by looking into them and subscribing to their YouTube channel.
Yeah. They also will sometimes make a video saying happy birthday if you asked. I had them do that for you once.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that, but I appreciated it.
Well, I asked him to. Therefore, he did it.
I got it. Mm-hmm.
So grab your fandom merch, head on over there, and let them know that Gothic Therapy referred you.
Indeed. But that is all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged. But remember, when you do subscribe, your first session is free, so smash those buttons like they're bad kitties. And do consider joining us at the dusk, midnight, or dawn level. We would appreciate it quite a lot. You can also find links to all of our socials in the description below, as well as links to our merch store and our Discord server known as The Clinic. Be sure to check them out. And if you don't want to follow us here on YouTube, you can also find us on Rumble and Odyssey.
We had a live show planned. We've had to push it back. It's going to be now probably late August, early September. Work stuff got in the way, but that is still coming. If you guys would like also to support us in a different way, if you'll look in the description, there'll be a link to Viter Energy. I'm an ambassador for Viter Energy. They make caffeine mints. They're very useful. My wife and I use them all the time. They're good flavors. They're kosher, and you can eat them. They're about a half a cup of coffee each. And if you go down there and use the link down below and use code GET10, you get 10% off, and you also support the channel.
So please, go check those out.
But yeah, that's all we have for this week, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Gothic Therapy, out.